It was once just an idea until breaking ground in November of 2016, and now here it is in all its glory. Spectacular SoFi Stadium here in metropolitan Los Angeles. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Chargers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
The conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like you had green on that play.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Mayfield to throw it this time. Eluding the pressure right. Now Mayfield lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line. After all of the turnover woes that they had last week, another turnover on the first drive of the game.
And when you dive into the analytics of football, it's real simple. If you're down in turnover margin, you're not going to win very many football games. The best teams always rank in the upper part of the league in terms of turnover margin.
And last week's number for them was 5 turnovers. And as you saw, another one there. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the Chargers' 10-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Franklin. Pass underneath for 4, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
Complete.
It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he pushes forward, but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
He gets it halfway there with that run. I think you play up-tempo, get right back on the line of scrimmage, and hammer out him again.
On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. Back to throw. Franklin to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside. scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Seibert able to knock this one through. Way up now, a flag is down. If this is on the defense, they're going to get the first. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos.
Makes the score Broncos 7, Chargers 0. Austin Seibert set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. The decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
20-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over. The other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the ground, it's Geis. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Mayfield. And this one is incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
That certainly looks like nothing to show now from these first 2 possessions. And guess what? When you're on a losing streak, that can lead to a full sense of, here we go again. So on the sidelines, the offensive play callers, quarterback, they've got to get together and dial something up to start their next drive. Otherwise, it could be a long game.
It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Franklin. They'll find Everett there, complete. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Rolling to his left. Side, it's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain there of 30 big ones. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, Franklin. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Throwing again, Franklin. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And all the way home for the Broncos score. Michael Thomas, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Broncos 14, Chargers nothing. Austin Seibert.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know. Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. From the gun, Mayfield. Looking downfield for Jones. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw, Mayfield. It's caught, Jones. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. Here's Mayfield. And that one falls incomplete. Trying to dump it underneath. Now 2nd down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Going to the air again with Mayfield. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. That's a very small. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
He talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds.
First down, Denver.
Now a handoff looking right. He's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw. Franklin, and he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find the answers, and they've got to find them quick.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. And the Broncos are going to have it first and goal as he'll take this down to about the 3.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Chargers.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
Point after.
And it is now 21-0.
Makes the score Broncos 21, Chargers nothing. Austin Seibert set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
24-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. Mayfield
down. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing, Mayfield. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
And incomplete on the deep ball. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Mayfield with it once more. Being chased out left. And incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
3rd down and 10.
The Chargers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And again, it's Mayfield. intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
Seibert on for the point after.
That pick six extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
15-yard line.
We got him!
The Charger drive about to get going. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. Right? Good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
The Chargers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Mayfield looks to throw. And that's caught by Smith. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. That's complete to Smith. That catch good for only a couple.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he will get enough for a 1st down, and that will lead us to the 2-minute warning. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Mayfield. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
We haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Call it a gain of 14 for the 2nd play in a row.
Chargers.
Mayfield to throw it. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd.
Mayfield. Open man is Samuel, complete. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. We'll see Sam Sloman in the Rams field goal unit.
The field goal. A 27-yard attempt.
And cuts a deficit from 28 to 25. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Operating from the gun, Franklin. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it.
The second down pass. Intercepted. The Chargers
in good field position to start out. 1st and 10 at the 40. Following the interception, Mayfield incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now.
intended for number 86. Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now Mayfield lost the football. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Final play of the half. Mayfield looking deep for Julio. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Sam Sloman set to kick off.
Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway from the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Give him 28 yards on that one. On 1st down, Franklin. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. Not the way you envision things to start out the 3rd quarter. 1 play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script.
And Mayfield again with the interception. His 3rd. Picked off at the 38. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
That catch good for only a couple.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, short tackle.
A second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Got an open man, that's Campbell. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
Back to throw again. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Michael Thomas with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
For the point after.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Broncos 35, Chargers 3.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. That'll be taken about a yard deep, and he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up! Yeah. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
2nd and 10.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mayfield, flush to his right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far and brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. If you're going to get rid of it, you better get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you have to get outside of that tackle box, right? Get out there, and then you can do it legally, but he wasn't able to do so, and they end up losing the down as well.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. And this will be down just on the other side of midfield.
Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line.
Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And they will finally drag him down at the Chargers' 19-yard line. 31 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Fournette, a 1st down carry. And he'll get this down only to the 18.
Ball carrier.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That's a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and now it's third down.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Off the play fake. Franklin rolling to his right. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Marlon Humphrey. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? 3rd quarter now from SoFi Stadium. Here's a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Franklin. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good. Soft in spots. And there's an easy throw and catch for another 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down, Franklin. It's caught inside the 25. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Now Leonard Fournette. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a 1st with 3rd down looming.
Brings up 3rd down.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will have the 1st down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and the Broncos are going to have a new set of downs. Now it's SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Josh Allen. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. From the gun, Franklin. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown.
To number 89.
From 19 yards away. And this offense continues to pour it on. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
23-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Deron Payne, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Another try after the first down sack. Mayfield, those passes intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 39. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
The 35-yard line.
CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
Brought down.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Again, it's Fournette. And some room to maneuver. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
And, Brandon, this is what it pays to have a big back who can take over a football game, especially in the 4th quarter when you've got the lead, your ability to not just wear people down, but close games out.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And again, this time to the tailback. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Austin Seibert sets up for the field goal try.
A 27-yard attempt.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. Back now on EA Sports as the kick teams are out here following the 2-minute warning. And this carries into the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
In the heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. Another mistake after the interception there. Gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, and they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
2nd and 1 at the 10-yard line.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us, we're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. Taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
17-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. To be frank, you really have to feel for them. This is appearing to not be their week yet again. So another loss in the cards as they trail big in quarter number 4. He's going to let it fly. And it'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
For Julio Jones, incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Desperation throw deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win him the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean
a lot there. And it's good, but it's also of little consequences. This game is over.
Makes the score.
Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for the Broncos, a loss would have really hurt. As it stands, they finished the first half at 3-5. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, changes could be in the air as they fall to 0-8 now on the year. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Yeah, I use a dub, I'ma win, I won't lose with this. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. I turn the knob, camera assist, I'm incredible. Yeah, came for the dollars, call it vegetable. Then I did the dash, can I catch me, bro? Ooh, then I did the dash, can I catch me, whoa? Your whole team is no competition. Boy, I did it by myself, it's a solo mission. Running up the charts, I'm a fool, dog. Turn the whole field to a schoolyard. Bunch of students ain't eating round here. I'm the GOAT, little man, and I made it loud and clear. Put the gas on them like I whipped the Cavalier. Show no love, got the confidence, no fear. I use a dub, I'ma win, I won't lose with this. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Okay, yeah, didn't I hit that?